Guess who's going kayaking overnight in a few days' time? This guy. These are all the things that I'm going to take. I'm going to go through them because who doesn't like a good packing video? All the things for just an overnighter. All this is going to run wrapped in the tarp you see on, and it's going to go on that frame, which is then going to be tied to the front of the boat. And I just hope I don't tip over, because that will be embarrassing. Let's go through things one by one, see what I'm taking. Let's start with Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. These are sort of your little possibilities kit stuff. So what I've got here is a power bank battery for the it's for the iPhone or for the torch, which is going to come with its charger. This is the Olight S30R. Very bright rechargeable torch. Comes on this tail stand there. It's got a clip. It's very potent. I get to review it, but I'm sure it'll come. The Victorinox Swiss tool is my camping multi-tool of choice, coming along as it always does for removal of things from the fire. And then we've got a Easy Lap diamond stone. This is pretty mid-range. This is fine. It feels like about 1,000 grit or something, just for touch-ups, just in case, I don't know, in case I get a real woodworking fever going on and actually start blunting my knife. So those are the little miscellaneous things I'm bringing. Next is this bad boy. This is a Firewood Sling. This is really good for hauling things around the camp. It's a really heavy-duty sheet of canvas with a handle at one end and a handle at the other end. Forms a carrying device, which is good. Stops you having to press everything up against your clothes. And you know how you're always out gathering firewood and you always end up seeing like another good bit and then another good bit and then another good bit, and you just end up with your shirt covered in bark? Yeah, that's so you don't do that. Very cool. First aid kit. Now first aid kits, the videos of them bore me to death. This one has got basic supplies for, it's got enough bandages for a snake bite, it's got enough band-aids for little cuts and bruises, it's got antiseptic, it's got a couple of gauze pads, got some medicines, got some tampons. What? I guess I could say that for fire prep. I don't know. It's got a mosquito bracelet in there, which is pretty cool. For inside your tent, just hang it around the ceiling. It's my first aid kit. I won't bag on about that too much. That is a fantastic pair of leather gloves. Yeah, just black leather gloves. They're not mechanics gloves, they're not particularly even branded, but they are real leather and they're lined with a somewhat fleecy material inside. I've done a lot with these. The leather's gone all dry and you know, they've probably only got a year or so left in them. Maybe I just need to give myself a good old Obanoff's handshake. Don't know, but they're very good gloves and they're definitely coming along with me still. That is a Sunto compass. It's one of like the $40 ones. It's not too bad. It'll show me north. I know the area where I'm going very well, so shouldn't get too disoriented. But then you do when you get a bit, because it's like a little island amongst the rivers, and so it's definitely waterlocked, so you can't really wander too far. But you do get a bit confused when you're in the middle of it, which way you're facing. So that might help for those little awkward situations like that. Now, mercifully, fire ban season should be finished by, I think it's finishing on the 14th of March, which may well be the day that I'm going. So that means that I can have a fire. However, if the conditions are horrendous, I'll still be a responsible camper and will use my stove, despite there not being, you know, technically being allowed to. We're having a very hot and summery March. It's the start of autumn and today it was 42 degrees Celsius, so it's definitely sticking around. So we'll see how we go. I would love a fire, but I shan't have one if it puts anything at risk. Cooking kit, just missing the clean canteen. That is the GSI cup that the canteen goes into. As you can see, I have cooked with it and it does just fine. Everything holds up and it does not warp. Maintains its composure. That is just a locking lid cook pot. Just cooking for one. Most of my diet when I go camping is really just high carb foods like nuts, lots and lots of nuts and trail mix and that sort of stuff. I'll probably bring, I just usually bring noodles, to be honest. I'm not super proud about hanging bacon off my, makeshift bushcraft camp setup. The food isn't a big part of it to me, so I just sort of bring what I have to bring. It's my little hobo knife. This is made by K-Bar. It's got all three things in it. It's got a knife, and it's got a spoonie, and it's got, you guessed it, get off there, Mr. Fork. It's got a forky too. See, you've played knifey spoony before, and bottle opener as well. Classic. Those three items are my sleep set. At the top is the Wilderness Designs Dart Ultralight single person tent, but it's a nice big one with a little vista out the front. It's fantastic. Very, very lightweight. It's all titanium. All the pegs and the rods are. It's about $1,000 worth of tent, but it was my dad's, so I didn't have to pay for it. He must have got another better one, or I don't know, just decided he didn't want it anymore. So that was probably one of the biggest scores I've had. Below that is a Thermarest mattress, quite essential. I do plan on using some natural, whatever I can find, reeds and such, to put underneath the actual floor of the tent. And then that on top of that should make for quite the comfy sleep. And then below that is just a basic sleeping bag. It's an Australian conditioned sleeping bag, so this is not one of your American sleeping bags that you can sleep in the middle of the tundra with. It's I think probably a 5 degree or a 10 degree or a 0 degree sleeping bag, something like that. It's good though. Packs down nice and small, so it wraps up in this big old tarp, and it should strap to that frame. Fingers crossed. 2 dry bags. One will have all the food in it, the black one, and the blue one will have a change of clothes, which will also double as my pillow. A little tip is, if you're ever looking for a pillow, a good dry bag like these Cedar Summit ones are good. You can just empty the dry bag, flip over the lid a few times, seal it up again, catch that air. You've got yourself a nice inflatable pillow. And that's what I may well do if my clothes prove a bit lumpy. You've seen this. This is the Sawyer squeeze system. You saw me drink my dog's water with it if you're an avid watcher, about probably 40 videos ago. Very, very good. It's going to last my lifetime. It'll probably outlive me. And it gets that river water from nice and green to nice and clear. So it doesn't do viruses, but I'm not worried about viruses in the river. We're not near any animal agriculture, and there's not been any sort of any need that I'm aware of to worry about viruses with the River Murray. Little fire kit. This has 3 ways of starting a fire. I'm yet to make this trip's tinder up, which I might not even do. I might just see what I can find. So you've got a lighter, classic. You've got matches, classic. And then you've got a fire steel, classic. It's all waterproof. In case that gets dipped, should at least be able to make a fire. Not too badly. Shelter assistance is what you're seeing here. You've got a few hanks of paracord. You've got just a standard tarp without eyelets. So it's a floor tarp. Makes like a 6 by 6 foot little floor area. It's just nice clean space. You just it's what ends up putting your food on and stuff like that, just so it doesn't get dirt all over it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's the money shot. That's what you'll want to see. What knives are you bringing? That's what I always want to see. I wish someone went on a kayak trip and they just brought knives, or like a packing trip where they just packed knives and they tried to think up excuses as to why they needed all the different knives. That'd be the best video. So I figure I'm covering all my bases here for what I need. So not bringing an axe because it's just a bit bulky. There isn't really an elegant way of carrying an axe, even a very light axe like the Fiskars X7. Not really an elegant way of carrying it on a canoe or in a kayak. It's just that teed off shape. You always pull it out and you pull everything else out bloody with it. So, saw to do any larger processing. This is a Silky Saw, which we all know will definitely do the larger processing. These saws are fantastic. So the Silky Gomboy, I think that's the 240mm blade. Very, very good. I'm taking the cold steel leather neck. Still in a testing phase. So this is it's good though. I can't see it going too far wrong. It's nice stainless steel, nice and thick knife that I've already proved can split really rubbish wood and really rubbishy hardwood and definitely slices well, and the steel's good survival knife steel. It's highly stainless and quite flexible and ductile and malleable. Very, very good stuff. Nice and safe too. If you're getting tired, this guard will help you out if you're doing those bigger tasks, like perhaps a bit of light chopping. Can't see myself really indulging in that sort of business on this trip, but mainly bringing it just to test. And then my other little knife, which is going in the pack, is Light My Fire, which is just lovely little thin but very tough thin knife. This can do all my this plus whatever pocket knife I've got in the day, which if it was today would be the paramilitary too. Would be able to do any of the food prep or any of the little jobs that would come up around camp. So very, very lovely little knife there, and a redundant little fire starter too. Again, highly stainless, which is where I'm going. Kind of requires stainless gear. However, as I'm testing this knife, I am sort of factoring in that something may go wrong, so I'm bringing something that I definitely trust. You guessed it. Never leave home without it. Well, never leave home for the wilderness without it. It's the Falkniven F1. There it is. I know it's a little small knife, but geez, is it thick and strong, and I reckon I'd have a go with just I wouldn't be disappointed if this was what I had in a battle royale type situation. If, like, when the Chinese, once all the Chinese kids got over the shock that there was a Caucasian grown man in the battle royale, they'd probably be slightly jealous of me when they saw my Falkniven F1. Very, very capable. As long as you think that laterally, you can get these small knives to do most of your big jobs as well. And then just in my vest, just an extra fire steel in case I take that nightmare scenario where I take a dump and take a dump in my kayak, where I take a capsize, where I dump all my stuff in the water, and then all I've got is these things, which will be on my belt and on my in my floaty vest. So those two little bonus things there too. And also, I suppose I can't see why I wouldn't be bringing my little everyday carry torch, as well as obviously my everyday carry knife as well. So, what do you reckon? How's packing looking? I know I haven't gone through the food, but do you really want to see what food I'm bringing? I tell you what, I'm bringing my camera along with me, so you might even see me eat my amazing delicacies of ramen noodles and probably pot noodle, and if I'm feeling really, really jazzy, maybe some like salami or something. Handfuls and handfuls of nuts too. I love those nuts in and around my mouth. Yeah. I'll leave you with that thought, you guys. Thanks for watching. A couple of vids coming up. There should be a very... I'm not sure if it'll be before or after the trip. Very, very excited me opening a Falkniven A1 box, which is on its way, apparently. And... What else? The actual trip of the video of the trip that I am taking all of these things on. So there we go. That should do us for now. I'll see all you crazy cats later.